I made the best build in NBA 2K24, and we have some gameplay footage. Let's get into it, man. So for the position, I went with point guard. For the height, I went with 6'6". For the weight, I went with 180, and for the wingspan, I went with 6'6". Now, I was trying to go through the wingspans and the weight, and 180 and 6'6" wingspan are the best for a 6'6". This build can literally do it all. I have an 89 driving dunk. It's a 6'6" that gets posterizer on silver. I noticed that there's not going to be a lot of builds that even have posterizer at all. So to have an 89 driving dunk with posterizer on bronze, I think is perfect. Now on to shooting. I went with an 85 three-pointer. I noticed that a lot of people were doing a low three-point rating, but I decided to go with a high one at 85 that gets limitless range on bronze and silver green machine. Those are the two best shooting badges, and to have those badges is a key factor. For the playmaking, I went with a 92 ball handle and an 83 speed with ball, and it gets gold speed booster, gold unpluckable, gold blow by, and gold handles for days, all on a 6'6". Like, this literally has amazing playmaking. For the defensive attributes, I went with a maxed block. I'm telling you guys that this build has everything that you need. It has everything that is important, and I think block is going to matter again this year in NBA 2K24. So I went with a maxed block, so I'm going to be able to, guard a center if I need to, or guard a guard. These are the physical attributes. It's literally a 6'6" with gold speed booster. It has an 89 speed and a 96 stamina. Like, this build literally has everything in the game that you need. So that wraps it up for all of the attributes. Now for the build name, the build is called a floor spacing slasher. I love how 2K implemented all new build names in NBA 2K24. There's so many new build names, and a floor spacing slasher is the perfect name for this build. For the overall, I chose to put my build as a 99, and then they let us choose if we want to play a 3v3 or a 5v5, and of course I went with a 3v3. So now on to the gameplay. The first thing that I'm going to talk about with the gameplay is the dribbling. Now, they took quick first step out of the game, but the new quick first step is called the Speed Booster badge, and this build comes with Speed Booster on gold, so you don't really accelerate when you start dribbling as fast as you did in previous 2Ks, but when you after the first initial move to start running, after that is when Speed Booster activates, and Speed Booster on gold with this build is going to work just fine, and it's going to work perfect. Then with shooting, I noticed that a lot of people were doing low 3-point rating, but like I said, I went with an 85 because this build has literally every single thing that you need. And the shooting with an 85 three-pointer, I was literally making threes, greening threes. It was working just fine. So I think an 85 three-pointer is going to be perfect. Then with the defense feels so much better. Everything about the defense feels better. The paint defense literally feels amazing. My build has a 68 block, and that was working just fine. It was working perfectly with the 68 block, and the paint defense is just better all around. Then with the speed, your speed acceleration, with a 6'6", obviously it's going to be a little bit slower than a 6'1", but I think for a 6'6", the speed on this build was working perfectly fine. Then with the dunking, as you guys all know, they removed and took out quick drops. And I don't think that dunking is going to be overpowered this year whatsoever, besides the bulldozer badge, which you can only get the bulldozer badge if you have a 98 strength. So a lot of guards are not going to have bulldozer. So that's not going to be an issue when you are guarding or you want to dunk on a guard. That is mainly for inside centers. Then, what I think the meta is going to be for each game mode is this. For the 1v1 court, the meta is going to be 6-6 guards. This build right here is going to run the ones court. For twos, this build and a popper are going to be the best twos meta. This build and a popper are going to run the twos. Then for the threes, this build, a lockdown and a popper would work great for the threes. For adrenaline, the adrenaline change this year is perfect. I love how the adrenaline works this year, and I think it is way better than previous years. For the stop and go, now a lot of people have been asking if you can still do the stop and go, and the answer to that is no. The stop and go is completely removed out of the game. I tried every way to make it work, and I could not get a stop and go animation. So the stop and go is removed. Then for the walk back, you can still do the walk back. I don't think it's going to be as effective this year because it felt a little bit slower, but I was still doing it. As you guys can see in the gameplay, I was literally still doing the walk back, and it was actually getting me some buckets versus the AIs. The AIs, their defense in this gameplay was literally like amazing. Like, it was so hard to score, and I think that rim running is for the most part done. I could not even get to the rim and get a dunk on these AIs. Now, I don't know if the AIs just have every defensive badge Hall of Fame or what, but I could not get a dunk versus these AIs. So I don't know. So it does not seem like the dunking is going to be that overpowered in NBA 2K24. That wraps it up for the best point guard build on NBA 2K24. Make sure y'all boys like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I'll see y'all boys, man. Peace.